Welcome back to REV'N News, everybody. You know, when you walk around these car shows and you see guys like Troy Trepagna standing there talking to somebody, chances are there's something really good happening with that person that he's talking to. I'm here with Josh from Advanced Plating. Josh, what were you and Troy Trepagna talking about this morning?
Well, we were talking about black nickel and a couple of alternative finishes and even brushed nickel, which we just did for their 59 Impala sedan delivery that they're building for Mother's Polishes. So.
Yeah, I heard about that. What'd you do with the vehicle?
Well, we started out, he sent us all the parts, which we ended up refinishing, taking completely down to the raw material and going back up. And we finished them in nickel, and we did a combination of bright nickel and brushed nickel finishes for him. We even two-toned a few pieces, which was kind of a neat look, and he really likes that a lot.
Well, with Troy, he's always wanting something a little bit different as well, right?
Right, and I mean, you know, difference is the big thing. That's what gets all the attention, and the more creative you can be, the better off. And you know, more guys now are figuring out that we can do a lot of things with finishes that can help draw a lot of attention and be different. So.
Well, with cars and also the motorcycle, different finishes always just meant chrome. You know, it's a whole different ball game now, right? We've got copper, nickel, chrome, black nickel, gold, and a variety of other alternative finishes. What are some of the trends with finishes outside of the fact that chrome was in it the one time?
Well, you know, nickel's really huge because nickel has a nice warm look to it, and a lot of guys building traditional hot rods really like the way nickel looks on their car. Brushed nickel's huge. I mean, you can kind of credit Troy, somebody that first started using brushed nickel. The green Roadster he's got in his booth right now is one of the first cars that had really brushed nickel on it, and more people like brushed nickel. We're doing some satin chromes and satin nickels now, which you see a lot in maybe muscle cars and street machines. A lot of guys like the way that looks, and it's just real complimentary because sometimes chrome can be too bright and too overpowering, but yet this is a way you can protect it with plating that looks dynamite and goes with the car.
I think Glenn from Billet Specialties has chicane too, with that copper-looking vehicle that had some of the nickel in it. Was nickel used in that vehicle? Do you recall?
I believe some nickel finishes were used on that one. I didn't actually do the finishes on chicane or the green Roadster, but we have done a lot with Troy since then. With various nickels. So.
Yeah, the nickel complements. In fact, Mikey and I were just talking about it. That root beer look, that brown look. It's really working well on a lot of these classic cars. We were joking about the fact they used to be stick-around brown because you couldn't turn those cars. Nobody wanted to, but now they really, really stand out, don't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of great colors coming in. Guys are using root beers. You know, champagnes have been big for quite a few years now, but, you know, you have a color like that brown, nickel goes great with it, you know? Sure. And I mean, even chrome looks great with it. Chrome's always a good choice, but at least guys know now that they have some other options that might complement the color of the car even better. So,
how much do you find yourself consulting these guys on the types of finish? Maybe a guy calls up and he wants a little black nickel, and as you start talking to him, you realize that maybe that's not his way to go. Do you find yourself consulting these guys, sometimes maybe giving a little bit something that they didn't call for originally that they left with?
Yeah, we do that a lot. That guy will call up and he'll be like, so set on, you know, I want to use black nickel, and I'm like, well, what's your intended use with the car when it's done? You're going to drive it a lot? Because black nickel is a very delicate finish, and that isn't always, that doesn't mix with an environment where the car's going to be driven a lot. So,
well, look, thanks for the insight, thanks for the education. Got a little bit of something going on in the backdrop. It's all good noise because that revs too. Right back to you guys at REV'N News.